Wait till you see the results of some of the things that we're doing. In the coming weeks and months, we will pass the largest tax cuts in American history, and that will include no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. It's called the One Big Beautiful Bill, and it will be the biggest bill ever passed in our country's history. It will include the biggest tax cuts, regulation cuts, military supremacy, and just about everything else. We will cut more than $1 trillion in wasteful and unnecessary spending. We will always protect Medicare and Social Security for our great seniors with no cuts, and we will defend Medicaid for those great people that are in need.
That's President Trump touting the impact of his big, beautiful bill during a rally in Michigan last night where he fired up the crowds. Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty with me yesterday here, telling me when he expects the reconciliation bill to hit the president's desk for signage. Watch.
I met with a group of House leaders last night. They are working apace to get their piece of the reconciliation package done by Memorial Day. It's our job in the Senate. I spoke with Leader Thune yesterday to move as quickly as we possibly can to get the reconciliation package done right after Memorial Day. We need to be moving apace to get certainty locked into our tax code so that companies can make the type of capital commitments that we want to see happen in 2026.
So House committees are marking up portions of that package, that reconciliation package this week. The Oversight Committee is expected to pass its version today, aiming to cut at least $50 billion. Some targets include federal pension benefit spending. And joining me now is the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, James Comer. Mr. Chairman, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for being here.
Good morning, Maria.
What are you expecting out of your committee, and is it realistic to believe that a bill comes out of the House by the end of this of May, Memorial Day, so that it could actually get to the president's desk by July 4th?
It's very realistic. We've been working on this for 6 months. We started working on this long before the November election and hoping that we would retain control of the House. The House is way ahead of the Senate. We're trying to get as many cuts and savings as possible. The more cuts and savings we're able to pass out of the House, then the bigger the tax cuts can be. So I think President Trump is right on message, and it's now the ball's in the court of the House of Representatives. My committee, the House Oversight Committee, we're going to mark up our portion of the bill. There are 9 committees that have some type of jurisdiction over the budget reconciliation bill, and hopefully today we'll be able to save nearly $51 billion in the House Oversight Committee.
All right, so $51 billion out of the House Oversight Committee. How much overall would you expect you can identify for cuts? And do you think the Senate is going to get on board with the cuts identified in the House?
Well, we're trying to get $1.5 trillion. And I think that we're serious about that. That's why all the liberal media behind me, they're on full guard to try to stir up the pot and try to get people to oppose these cuts. But the reality, as you know, Maria, we cannot continue to spend $2 trillion a year more than we take in. So the House has stepped up. I think we're going to pass out somewhere around $1.5 trillion in savings to the American taxpayer. The question you asked about the Senate, I don't know. I know that the Senate hasn't historically been real serious about tightening their belt, but I think when we get the job done in the House, it's going to put a lot of pressure on the Republicans in the state Senate to follow suit.
Well, you mentioned the liberal media. You've also got your liberal counterparts in the House and the Senate trying hard to stop President Trump's agenda. And now the president's advisors are not taking this impeachment threat lightly. Trump pollster John McLaughlin told Axios that, quote, he is certain that Democrats will impeach President Trump if they take the House next year. So you've got a lot of pressure to hold on to the majority, and all of that goes along with passing these items that you're talking about. Michigan Congressman Sri Zanadar introduced 7 articles of impeachment already this week. Georgia Senator John Ossoff also publicly supported the idea. Congressman, what's your take on this?
Well, obviously impeachment isn't going to go anywhere because the Democrats are in the minority right now. Nothing would surprise me what the Democrats would do if they were able to flip the House in a year and try to finish the last 2 years of President Trump's term, harassing, obstructing. That's all the Democrats know. They don't have any ideas or vision for the future. They just want to sit back and wait till the Republicans try to demonstrate some leadership and demonstrate some fiscal restraint, and then they go and cry and scream and tiptoe around the Capitol and get the media all jacked up. At the end of the day, I think if the Republicans, if we pass President Trump's agenda, we're going to be reelected and we're going to retain the majority in the House and the Senate. And I think that's the big test. We've got to deliver. This is our opportunity. President Trump laid out his agenda. Now it's time for the Republicans in Congress to pass his agenda.
Yeah, I mean, Virginia Congressman Jerry Connolly is set to step down as the ranking member of your committee. Squad members Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Jasmine Crockett have already floated the idea of as a potential replacement. What are your thoughts in terms of who takes over for the ranking member?
Well, I think it's fascinating because what doesn't get reported a lot is that Nancy Pelosi and the old Democrat establishment, they despise the young firebrands, the Ocasio-Cortezes and the Jasmine Crockett's and the Rashida Tlaibs. They do everything they can to undermine them. So I would be surprised if any of the young progressive members of the Democrat conference wins the ranking member spot on my committee. I would bet on some old boring guy like Lynch from Massachusetts.
Okay. Meanwhile, President Trump marked his first 100 days in office last night with a rally in Michigan. Wow, did he fire up the crowds? What would you say is his biggest accomplishment since retaking office?
I think it's securing the border. I mean, that was such a disaster, such a threat to our national security, and the way he did it, and the speed at which he did it, and then once he has accomplished it, and everyone in America, everyone in the world knows he accomplished his objective of securing the border. You know, the media tries to downplay it and shift and focus on, oh, well, they might deport children. Look, he's done a great job. Americans are safer because of Donald Trump, and that's a campaign promise he delivered at rapid speed.
Well, I mean, everybody except James Carville, he claimed yesterday that the border was already secure before President Trump did anything.
That's not true.
Yeah.
Not true. I mean, it's been wide open. Everyone knows it's been wide open. Anyone that lives in any town in America has seen the influx, you know.
All right, Congressman, it's great to see you this morning. We so appreciate your time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
All right, Congressman James Comer.